to today's Seas of Change Ocean Views, and we are so excited to be with our next guest, Chelsea. So, Chelsea, can you please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do?
Okay, hi guys. My name is Chelsea and I'm 17 years old and I'm from Kingston, Jamaica. I'm really involved in environmental conservation as well as youth activism. My friends and I, we co-started a campaign known as Clean Up or Act here in Kingston, Jamaica, which really is a combination of a lot of our ideas about how we want to protect our environment. So we do a lot of different projects on there and try to just spread environmental sustainability messages on social media. I was also a squad leader for the first Caribbean Regional Ocean Heroes Bootcamp, which definitely helped me to get involved in environmental conservation.
That's a lot that you guys do. So how do you balance all of that stuff with school?
Most of us are in our final year of high school, and some of us are in our first year of university. So it's really busy. But I think because we're a team, it definitely makes it a lot easier because not only is the work kind of divided, but we keep each other really motivated because, we can say, oh, today's kind of a hard day for me. Can you help me out? And it really does help to just have people to fall back on and keep you, supported.
I agree, and I love our team, and I'm so thankful that I have so many lovely friends that support me in what I do and can help me when, as when we're all in school and all experiencing this together, we can kind of help each other out, as you said. How did you first get started in environmental activism? I know you kind of touched on it already.
I think my first time really getting involved in environmental activism was about 2 years ago. I went to a marine biology summer camp and I learned a lot about what plastics are doing to our oceans and to our environment on a whole. So that really kind of sparked my interest. I was always kind of interested though, like, beach cleanups and stuff like that, but I didn't really know how deep the issue was here in Jamaica, especially. So afterwards, I decided I was asked to be a squad leader for Ocean Heroes by one of my friends, Caitlin. And that was really an amazing experience for me because I learned so much about how to start my own campaign and how other young people around the Caribbean were doing their own campaign projects. And I was really excited to kind of see how we could make an impact here in Jamaica.
That's awesome. And I know I've spoken to a couple of people part of Clean Up or Act, and you guys are just doing amazing, amazing things. And I love your focus on teamwork. So you're doing Clean Up or Act, you've done like stuff with Ocean Heroes Bootcamp and plenty other things. Is there anyone that inspires you in this industry?
My biggest inspiration, since as long as I can remember, was probably Greta Thunberg. She really pushed me to think that like I could actually make a difference in the fight for climate justice because, first I thought, oh, I have to go to college, I have to get a degree first. And seeing that young people my age were kind of doing that and actually making substantial changes really pushed me to think I could do the same.
That's so amazing. Obviously, yeah, we all think that Greta's, really helped a lot of young people in the past few years, definitely. So, do you have any current or upcoming projects that you've been working on that you'd like to share?
We've actually been doing a lot of beach cleanups. So tomorrow we actually have another one on our quays around the island because a big problem here is that a lot of our plastic kind of gets swept onto our quays. So we are doing a beach cleanup tomorrow and we have some more projects kind of being planned. So we have a tree planting project that we're trying to organize kind of behind the scenes right now. And we also have a compost project that we kind of want to implement at our local zoo, which we're really excited about.
That all sounds amazing, and it must be so great to actually be able to physically get in there and create change like you are. But, COVID has been a pain for all of us. How has that affected what you've been doing?
It definitely is a challenge because we kind of implemented our whole campaign during COVID and we are still in lockdown here in Jamaica, so we have quarantines and limits to gatherings. So for instance, with our beach cleanups, we have to kind of put more effort into finding ways to be safe. So we'll have limited numbers in teams who will come at different times and just definitely trying to find ways around big crowds. For instance, our original tree planting idea was that we wanted to go to different schools and teach kids about the importance of trees and then teach them how to plant trees and keep caring for them. But schools aren't in session here, so now we have to kind of reroute that and find a different way to do things. So it definitely does take more planning.
We keep hearing the word like pivot a lot, and like COVID's like made us all like pivot what we're doing and like change your ideas and adapt and be really flexible. But I think that's also like been a brilliant learning for everyone. And I guess like the upside of COVID is, like we're both on two different sides of the world. And we can sit here on Zoom and film, and like this wasn't really something that happened before. Like, Ocean Heroes Bootcamp was online and all of that. So I guess, we've learned a lot from it. So what has been your like favorite opportunity or experience so far?
I would say that my favorite experience was probably our first ever beach cleanup, which we hosted in April. So we were really nervous about it, and we were so excited as well. So we bought whistles and we matched shirts to kind of get everyone to know who the leaders were. It was really cute. And we were so nervous. We were like, oh my gosh, what if no one comes? And we had such an amazing turnout. I believe we gathered like over 50 bags of garbage. We had like 100 people there. But it was really spaced out though, like so at different times. But it was really exciting to see how many people actually came out to try and support us and clean up our beaches.
That's so amazing that you got 50 bags of garbage on one day. That's so crazy. So obviously COVID, we've already talked about, has been like, a tough part of, what you've been doing, what all of us have been doing. Have there been any like, other challenges that you faced that you've had, that you've learned from and you had to overcome?
I definitely think a big part of what we do is like trying to filter negative information that comes our way. So like we see a lot of information about oil spills or like policies that aren't really protecting the environment, and that can be very like demotivating, and it really hurts morale. And I think a way we've overcome that is we kind of try to list out all the positive things that have happened in like the past year, or we talk about our successes and how we can help to make a difference. So that's really been a way to overcome that. And another challenge we've experienced is kind of being taken seriously as kids, because adults kind of say, oh, you guys don't really know what you're doing, maybe you're in over your heads. And we kind of have to stay firm in that we know what we're doing. We're trying to make a difference here, and we don't really have to be like have a PhD in this to make a change here in Jamaica.
For sure. And I think that, yeah, like getting a PhD definitely makes you have the credentials to stand out, but you don't need that, and I agree with what you're saying, is that there's so many ways to educate yourself beyond just, getting a college or uni degree. What advice would you give anyone who were maybe thinking of starting to do beach cleanups or starting to compost?
I would definitely say to reach out to people around you, because having a team makes things so much easier. Reach out to people who want to help you, whether that's adults or your friends. Having a team is an amazing thing. I'd also say don't stop trying. Like if you hear a no, if someone says, "Oh, I can't help you with that," or find another way to do it. Don't look at that as like, "Oh, that's the end of the road." Definitely see how else you can pivot yourself to see how you can overcome these challenges. Especially during COVID, like you said, it's a bit more hard, it's a bit more difficult, but it can be done, definitely.
Yeah, that's like such amazing advice, and just so full of wisdom in this, and it's been wonderful listening to all of your advice and your story, and we like wish you like absolute best of luck as you keep growing in this industry. So I guess our final question is, like you are a young person, so in your opinion, how powerful do you believe young like voices of young change makers are?
I believe they are so powerful. I've met so many passionate young people who are making such a difference in their own communities, and you would never like believe how impactful young people can be until you see it with their own eyes. We definitely are the future. Like after this generation, we're going to, inherit what's left. We're going to have to deal with what's damage has been done or what positive change we've made while we were young. So I definitely think it's important. And whether you're doing environmental activism or some other type of activism that's important to you, you should definitely keep at it because it's important.
Thank you so much. Unfortunately, that was actually our last question, but you have offered so much amazing advice and so much amazing work that you've done. And I'm definitely very inspired by this interview.
Thank you so much for having me.